out, I hear your voice. Everywhere I go, I hear your voice.
Hey guys, it's Angie. Today I'm going to have a very special video for you, and for those of you who don't recognize this beautiful lady, this is my friend Amanda Carroll, and she helped create with me this lady in the background, which is the Swamp Witch, Madame Belladonna, and we created this demo for IMATS in January, last January. And I had a couple of requests, you guys wanting to see our process, what we went through to make the Belladonna, the Swamp Witch. So we thought it'd be a great little video to come together and talk about our inspirations, the process, the good, the bad,
the ugly,
the
tears.
So let's go ahead and get started with this video, and I hope you guys enjoy. So,
how did we meet? I know that's a big question. Angie and I both went to cinema makeup school. We were same class, and really early on we both kind of realized we have similar interests, kind of similar things that we want to achieve with makeup, and we just ended up working really well together and really kind of agreed on a lot of the same aesthetics of makeup.
yeah.
So we decided, you know, we wanted to try to do a demo for this school.
And if you guys don't recognize her, she was my sea monkey for my final project, and I was her, what were you calling it?
A butcher.
A butcher?
A monster butcher.
Maybe I can put a picture of that in this video?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. So we worked really, really well together on our final projects, and we said, hey, let's do a demo, let's build our portfolio.
Yes.
So that's how we decided to apply for the demo
Yes.
at cinema. And we had several designs, and the one that we got approved ended up being Madame Belladonna.
Yes.
So let's talk about the process of her.
You know, really early on, we really kind of worked on her backstory. Where she's going to be from, what is she going to be collecting in the swamp, what kind of she's going to be, good, evil, passive.
Yeah.
So that really, I think, rooted us in what we wanted to do. And in terms of, you know, design, we really started with the costuming. We knew we wanted this kind of big collar that kind of enframed her head, and we had this vision of like a willow bark
clothing, and, yeah, just
tattered
lots of
clothing, jingles,
trinkets, and things that she would need in the swamp, or that she would find in the swamp and collect along her journey. So the first piece we actually started with was surprisingly the wig, because we knew we were going to have to sculpt a face that would encapsulate the wig and kind of be in place of the wig. So we started with this wig. We went to this wig shop. It's called Wilshire Wigs in North Hollywood.
Yes.
Shout out to Wilshire Wigs. We walked in and they had this huge like wizard wig. It was like a wizard beard and a wizard wig, and we were like, "You're a wizard, Harry." And we had to buy this wig because it was the perfect texture. It had the texture we were thinking about, what we envisioned. So we got it for $20. Okay, $20.
16.
16 bucks. Oh yeah,
Save
it was
floor.
a floor model.
Yeah.
And then we went to Michael's and we bought this floral cone, like styrofoam cone that you stick flowers in, like florists. And we wrapped this wig around it, and it was hellacious, to be quite honest.
Yes.
The process took 8 hours just to build the base of the wig, because we just couldn't quite figure out. We're not wig makers by any means. So, you know, we learned a lot, which is something that's really great from this process, because we did everything ourselves, and we really kind of had to think on the fly. And this wig just... it was the bane of our existence. We finished it the last day before IMATS because it took so long. After we finished the wig, we moved into the sculpting process, which was a joint effort. Amanda decided to take on the actual facial prosthetic as well as the arm pieces, where I made the collar and the finger extensions. But let's talk about how you sculpted the face and the arms.
Yes, I relied so heavily on resource images, stock images, photographs that I would take of cracks on sidewalks. Really as much information as I could gather, because as well as I would think I know what a crack looks like, until I had these images, there's really, you don't realize how much you don't know about cracks.
Yeah.
So once I had all these images, I really just tried to replicate them as best as I could, as organically, as if they're naturally occurring. And you know, the process really picked up.
And there's no real pattern of cracks.
No.
Which is really hard because your brain automatically wants to make patterns.
Exactly.
So it was definitely a long process.
Yes, I had so many patterns that I would then have to like bisect and like remove and start over. Learning experience, but the images are key. Literally, I would just start following the patterns on the images, and it turned out really well.
Yeah, I definitely agree. She did an amazing job. And we actually have some foam pieces of the extra foam pieces that we made. After we done everything, we pretty much molded the pieces, which was just a basket mold.
A basket mold for the face piece. So this piece here is one of the extras we didn't use. It still has like the flashing part that you would remove and all these very thin edges, which are key for prosthetics, which would then be blended onto our model's skin. And then for what were the arm pieces, it was actually sculpted with a flat board on a flat board. And the way it would work is the way that they're shaped, you could then overlap the pieces as you glue them down.
So it would contour to her
So it would fit to like the
naturally.
bowl of the shoulder.
Yeah.
Very easy, very resourceful, which I know cinema always kind of taught us is work with what you have, don't overspend.
Make
So-
it work. Make it work. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great advice, and the flat molds worked out perfectly. And then we just had the one basket mold for her face piece. And then, how did you go about the fingers or the collar?
We took a cast of our model's hands, and basically we just did that with alginate and ultracal fingers.
Yeah.
And I built up, actually I have a couple here so you guys can see, with cotton and latex, which is such an old school method, but it works quite beautifully when you're trying to get kind of these finger extensions and not have to make molds, because that would have been a nightmare, And I just built up with cotton and latex and just sculpted into like a twisted kind of tree root type of situation. And then I also ended up making a collar which was meant to be like duality of the character. There's like a tree that's growing up on one side of her, and then there's a tree on her back that grows up the other side. It was kind of like a yin and a yang type of thing, nature type of thing. And I built that up again using cotton and latex and armature wire. So that was a very long process, but again,
Couple dollars it cost only. More time and work put into it.
probably like $3 total in that whole thing.
Yeah, and it turned out, it framed our character so beautifully. It accented her hair, the fingers.
It helped complement that organic feel that we were wanting.
Yes.
And now let's talk about the costume, because the costume, we had tried to set up some costuming. A lot of people that do demos, they get costumes, they get their wigs done. We just weren't that lucky, I guess.
No.
And
we definitely tried, because we weren't experts, certainly with costuming or the wig making. So if we could bring someone on the collaboration that was, going to share the same idea and wanted to showcase their work, we would have been more than happy. But everyone was very busy.
It's live.
People were
It was
prepared.
Christmas time.
Yes.
People are on
Time was
vacation.
terrible.
So we want to thank a very special member of our team,
Yes.
which is the hot glue gun. Because without it, there would be no costume.
Yes, hot glue gun and hairpins, just in general.
And Fashion Expo on Wilshire, we went and bought a corset top and leggings.
And
a belt.
and a belt. We got pretty much everything there, other than, we went to Michael's and Joanne Fabric and
Yeah,
bought
to get some like fabric and
strips.
stuff.
But honestly, we were working on a budget. We're both, at the time, recently graduated students.
Yeah, we
Neither
spent
of
a
us-
lot of money. We spent a lot of
It's
money on
surprising, because we had planned it out and we thought, it's not going to be that bad.
this. Yeah.
It was an investment, well worth it, but
Absolutely.
kind of wiped me for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll be saving up before my next demo.
It's going to
that's
be a
for
while
sure.
till there's another Belladonna. Obviously.
Yes.
And something else that happens that nobody knows is that we had a mannequin that we put this beautiful top on. The thing is, the mannequin stretched the top out. Mm-hmm. So when we went to fit it to our model, it was about 4 inches too big.
Yeah, about
That was the day before.
That was Wednesday. It was Saturday, and we had spent 40 hours on this costume.
And
pattern
mind you, the
gluing.
wig still was not even done at this point, so we're really
And we hadn't figured out how we're painting our piece, so
like freaking out.
yeah, it was crunch time.
Yeah.
And we had this mannequin, this dressmaker's model from our
The one
model.
that's actually on right
Yes.
now.
But our model she was very athletic, very fit, very, nice small frame, perfect for the witch. But the mannequin was a little bit bigger, and we didn't think about it. But as we were gluing the pieces down, we were kind of setting the form of the
fabric
corset.
is not going to stretch anymore.
And Wednesday, so 4 days before 3 days.
3
3 days before IMAX test makeup time, we put the costume on her and it didn't fit. It was too big. And I think we stood there for about an hour in silence just looking at each other because we were emotionally drained and
freaking out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crunch time. So, I don't know, we put on, as I like to say, our big girl panties. And we're like, all right, let's just fix this. This is what it is. We're going to hunker down any means necessary. So we actually refitted the back and kind of folded it over and did like a cross stitch. You know, she's a swamp witch. It doesn't have to be like super elegant.
It's rustic.
Thankfully.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Handmade. And made it work. We didn't have a choice. It was going to work one way or another. And if she had to walk around with clothespins holding it together, it was going to happen.
We had to glue it to her body. That would have happened.
some duct
She was
tape.
totally down for it, by the way. So.
Yes, she was Brooke.
Brooke Garrow. Love you.
Gosh.
Love you, Brooke. So speaking of the wig and gluing things to the head, the wig was absolutely the last thing that we finished. And on test day, which was a hell of a day, the wig did not deliver. It did not meet our expectations. The problem with the wig is that there's something called gravity, and it likes to pull things down to the ground. So, you know, we had this armature wire in here, inserted in the styrofoam, and creating the tail of the hair, but there was no anchor to the actual head. So the metal was digging into our model's head, and we had no way to secure it to her head. So Amanda had the genius idea of making a really thick latex cap and encapsulating
The armature.
Yeah. So how many coats of latex was that?
Honestly, it was like 40 coats. You know, we had.
I mean, it was almost a half an inch thick.
It was like it was no by any means something you'd use on a film if you had to blend edges, but we knew it would fit underneath the wig. So it was duct tape and bald cap latex to make the kind of bald cap, and it was honestly our
Well,
Hail
I'll actually
Mary.
show you that too. I'll just insert a little clip here.
It's not the prettiest, but it functioned.
Yeah.
It was our Hail Mary. You know, we didn't know until the day of IMAX, was this going to fit on our model's head? Was it going to stay on our model's head? And would it hurt her?
Yeah.
But it all came together. It was literally that Hail Mary moment where we held our breath. It worked
Yeah.
out.
I remember being up on the stage as we're putting that wig on and just crossing my fingers, crossing my toes, crossing anything that I could possibly cross. Because, you know, we had no idea if it was going to work, and it did.
Yeah, and it was such an integral part of the costume, and if it wasn't there, there'd be this awkward antenna and no hair, and
Just a hot mess.
yes.
So,
Another piece that we got to fabricate for the project was the staff for our Swamp Witch. All of the products were really purchased at Michael's. We got bamboo vines, painted them with bark tones. We got moss that was glued on and really just kind of tinted the mason jar with some acrylic paint, made it look very earthy, and just included things that were part of our costuming and to kind of wrap everything together.
overall, I mean, I think the witch came together, and we're both very proud of it. You're going to see, like, footage of her and pictures and things. And, you know, it was a great process.
Thank you to our model. She embodied Madame Belladonna, and she really she was Madame Belladonna by the end. Like, we couldn't even call her Brooke. She was just floating around through the crowd, and
I mean, we had to run after her. We had to chase her down the
there were times
aisle.
we lost her. If it wasn't for that wig, we would not have found her.
Yeah,
It's true.
we definitely have to thank Cinema.
Absolutely.
Cinema Makeup School, which is who we did the demo for. We have to thank Lee Joyner.
Lee
especially.
Joyner,
He
Mr.
was our
Mike
mentor.
Spatola.
Mike Spatola, for sure.
There were interns at the school, you know, who showed up with me on Christmas Day to run phones.
Rob Steele and Midge.
And Midge, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. We have to thank our Rachel.
Rachel. And she's now a roommate, my best friend.
Yeah.
She was our runner. Literally, we showed up at IMAX and we're like, we're hungry, we're thirsty. We sent her to a grocery store. We didn't even know if there was one. You know, she got all of our supplies. And
Such
even
a trooper. Such an incredible, helpful little
brought us food.
Yeah.
Literally, we got through the day definitely because of Rachel. Fantastic. And like, who else? There was, oh my gosh, we had the Pache airbrushes. So thank you, Pache.
PPI, beautiful products from PPI, airbrush.
Yes, beautiful
products.
alcohol colors. And then we had European body art palettes. Fantastic. We had so much collaboration and so many people to thank that really brought
We
it
got
together.
to be on the Stan Winston
Yes.
podcast.
Oh.
If you want to watch that, I'll link that below. You can see that video. I'll put the marker when we show up and stuff. They interviewed us. Stan freaking Winston, the school, interviewed us. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video about the birth of Madame Belladonna. It definitely was like giving birth, I have to say. And,
Very proud of her.
Yeah.
She lives in our memory forever.
yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the process, and if you like this video, if you like Amanda, thumbs up. Do you have an
likable.
Instagram?
I do have an Instagram,
Okay.
Amanda Lee Artistry.
Oh, please hit here and down there below
Yes.
if you want to follow her.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you're going to see much more from us too, because,
We work well together.
Yeah.
There's something.
yeah.
Something there. Like minds.
So, thanks again, guys, for watching. Take care, and I'll see you, or we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Deuces. Your fingers just blend into the background. And I bet they could hear Bowie sleeping.
Oh, yeah. Pale girl problems.
No stop. Our helper, Rachel. Our runner.
It's recording. Of our demo, Madame
Belladonna.
Try it
An infamy.
again.
No, as I stutter every first name, but I'm like, oh god.
Brooke. I ate his face.
Leatherface.
I ate his kidney with a nice Chianti.
Last time a census taker questioned me, I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Oh, Jesus.
In this dark place, in this dark